Veiled alleys. The city sprawled before me, an urban labyrinth of towering skyscrapers and bustling streets. I had arrived with the excitement of exploring a new place, the thrill of the unknown tingling in the air. Little did I know that the city held secrets darker than the shadows cast by its imposing structures. My journey began on a rainy evening, the slick streets reflecting the neon glow of the signs above. I navigated through the crowded sidewalks, a faceless stranger among the hurried masses. The city's heartbeat echoed in the distant honks and footsteps, a cacophony that both welcomed and unnerved me. I checked into a nondescript hotel, its faded sign bearing the name Eclipse Inn. The receptionist's smile was a mere formality, her eyes void of the warmth one might expect. As I ascended the creaking stairs to my room, a chill crept up my spine, an unshakable feeling that the hotel held more secrets than it cared to reveal. The room was dimly lit, and the air felt heavy with the scent of dampness. I tried to shake off the unsettling feeling as I unpacked, convincing myself that it was just the weariness of travel playing tricks on my mind. But the shadows seemed to dance with a life of their own, whispering tales of the city's hidden corners. As night fell, I ventured into the city's alleys, drawn by the mystery concealed within their narrow passages. The rain had tapered off, leaving the streets glistening with moisture. I walked, guided by the flickering lights and the distant hum of the city. I stumbled upon a peculiar antique shop, its entrance nestled between two taller buildings. The sign above bore the name Eternal Relics, and the windows displayed an array of artifacts, each with an air of ancient allure. The door's bell jingled softly as I entered, and a chill swept over me. The shop was dimly lit, the shelves adorned with curious objects, an ornate mirror, a weathered quill, a dusty gramophone. The shopkeeper, an elderly man with a twisted cane, greeted me with a knowing smile. "Lost in the city, are we?" he mused, his eyes gleaming with a mysterious wisdom. I chuckled nervously, dismissing his words as mere banter. "Just exploring. Your shop caught my eye." He nodded knowingly and gestured toward a corner filled with old leather-bound books. "Take a look. They have stories to tell, secrets to share." The books seemed to call to me, their worn spines and faded pages promising tales of forgotten lore. As I ran my fingers over the titles, I felt a subtle vibration, an almost imperceptible hum that resonated with something unseen. I selected an aged volume titled Veiled Alleys, and approached the counter to pay. The shopkeeper's eyes lingered on the book, and for a moment, I thought I saw a flicker of concern in his gaze. "Be cautious in your wanderings," he warned cryptically, handing me the book. "The city has a way of revealing more than one bargains for." I thanked him and left the shop, the weight of his words lingering in the air. The night had grown darker, the alleys more labyrinthine than before. I decided to make my way back to the hotel, the book tucked under my arm. As I navigated the winding streets, a sense of disorientation crept over me. The landmarks that had guided my path seemed to shift, their familiar faces replaced by unfamiliar facades. I quickened my pace, the echoes of footsteps behind me adding an unsettling urgency to my steps. The narrow alley seemed to close in, their walls adorned with graffiti that appeared to writhe in the dim light. I glanced down at the book in my hand, and a shiver ran down my spine. The cover depicted a shadowy figure navigating a maze of veiled alleyways, an uncanny resemblance to the city around me. I attempted to retrace my steps, but the alleys twisted and turned like a malevolent puzzle, each corner leading to another dead end. The air felt charged with an unseen energy, and the distant sounds of the city became muffled, as if swallowed by the looming darkness. A sense of unease settled in, and I quickened my pace, desperate to escape the claustrophobic alleys. The whispers of the city seemed to crescendo, an indistinguishable murmur that reverberated through the narrow passages. I stumbled upon a wider street, relief flooding over me. The familiar glow of streetlights illuminated the path ahead, revealing a sense of normalcy. I glanced back at the alleys, half expecting them to have vanished, but they lingered like veiled specters in the periphery. As I continued, the city's pulse quickened, its heartbeat erratic and unnatural. The buildings seemed to lean in, their windows filled with shadows that danced in a macabre waltz. I felt eyes upon me, unseen gazes that followed my every move. I approached the hotel, its exterior unchanged, yet the atmosphere around it had shifted. The once inviting glow of the lobby now seemed foreboding, the receptionist's eyes colder than before. I hesitated at the entrance, the weight of the city's secrets pressing on my shoulders. The elevator creaked as it ascended to my floor, each floor passing with an agonizing slowness. When the doors finally opened, I stepped into a corridor that seemed to stretch into infinity. The flickering lights cast distorted shadows on the peeling wallpaper, and the air grew colder with every step. I reached my room, the door ajar as if inviting me in. The flickering television illuminated the darkened space, casting a surreal glow on the furniture. As I entered, I noticed the book I had purchased from the antique shop resting on the nightstand, its pages now filled with indecipherable symbols. A sense of dread enveloped me as I realized the book mirrored the veiled alleys I had traversed. The symbols seemed to shift and writhe, forming patterns that echoed the city's twisted geography. I attempted to close the book, but it resisted, as if anchored to a force beyond my comprehension. The room seemed to pulse with an unseen energy, and the walls echoed with the whispers of the city. Each whisper carried a fragment of a story, a tale of the secrets that lay veiled beneath the surface. I felt a presence in the room, an ancient force that had been awakened by my unwitting exploration. I tried to leave, but the door wouldn't budge. Panic set in as I realized the city had claimed me, its veiled alleys becoming a prison from which I could not escape. The symbols in the book glowed with an otherworldly light, and the whispers intensified, their words forming a chorus of forgotten voices. Embrace the secrets, they murmured, a haunting lullaby that echoed in the confines of the room. As the night wore on, I became a prisoner of the city's veiled mysteries. The room transformed into a kaleidoscope of shadows and symbols, a surreal realm that blurred the lines between reality and the supernatural. The whispers guided me through the pages of the ancient book, revealing the untold stories of those who had walked the veiled alleys before me. I became a part of the city's secrets, my existence intertwined with its enigmatic history. The veiled alleys became my perpetual maze, each turn leading to another revelation, another layer of the city's haunting tapestry. And as dawn broke, casting its feeble light on the city outside, I remained trapped in the hotel room, a spectral figure lost in the veiled alleys of a city that held its secrets close, forever hidden from the eyes of those who dared to explore its unknown depths.